pick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back here for our third game of 4 here for Starladder Season 8, Day 6 on Beyond the Summit. Zyori. Joining me once again is Merlini, and we've got Virtus Pro versus OSG coming up for you here. Merlini, my friend, we just saw Virtus Pro square off against the Mighty Alliance. They didn't fare so well, but we'll see how they do against OSG here coming up in this match.
I think that VP should probably win this match. I think it's 60-40 odds. VP looks stronger than I expected, or they look stronger than I expected versus our Alliance. OSG, I don't really know too much about them. Have you seen them in action?
We've seen them in 1 or 2 games, and they didn't do anything notably memorable. I think they played okay. They did play against, let's see, what's today? The 3rd. I think they might have played before Thanksgiving. Yeah, they played Aspera on the 26th of November, so it was kind of a while ago. We got to see them against 4FC. We haven't seen them against any of the higher-seeded teams, Aspera and 4FC, obviously 2 of the lower-seeded teams coming into this round robin. So we haven't seen them in a huge capacity. It should be interesting.
Boy, the Doom pick.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I was just about to say, wow, looks like Virtus Pro doing something a little more standard here. Venno, first pick. I can get behind this. And there's the second pick, Doom. I don't know.
Doom does dissuade a few picks, though. It does dissuade like a Storm pick and other heroes. But at the same time, yeah, do you really have to take it in your first 2? Like, where's the Elder Titan that they just got rolled by?
Elder Titan not going to be picked by either side here. Again, very surprised. It seems some teams just don't care so much for the
hero is so good.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I don't know. You're preaching to the choir here. I think last game had more of a testament to his skill. Some interesting bans coming out here. Virtus Pro going to ban out Lich and Timbersaw with their first 2. OSG going to ban 2 very irritating heroes, the Viper that we've talked about quite a bit, and the Bristleback. We've talked about him a little bit. We got to see him yesterday, a little bittersweet in the match that was rescheduled, that Na'Vi match. They drafted Bristleback, and then unfortunately the match got postponed because of lag issues. So not going to see him here, but Elder Titan will be banned out alongside that Alchemist. And Pugno Weaver going to be taken out of the pool. So Clockwork going to make it into a 3rd pick position. And OSG going to grab him to complement their Mirana Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, I must say, OSG's that draft is stronger. They got a 3rd pick Clock, and they didn't 2nd pick a Doom. Oh, but VP gets a Visage, so again, swing the draft back in favor of VP. They have the really strong support. Venno and Visage, I think, are probably the 2 strongest supports in the game right now. CM is pretty close.
Yeah, top 3 for sure. But yeah, Venno and Visage, 2 very, very powerful supports. Again, one of the things about Visage that I can't wrap my head around is the birds persist through death. He is the support that can still be support, still pick up kills, even after you've picked him off. There really is no actually finishing off that Visage unless you manage to kill him and his little bird buddies. But yeah, Virtus Pro, well, we'll see. I mean, Doom isn't all bad. I feel like they're leaving a bad taste in our mouths for Doom after that last game. He's not all bad. He's still a good hero, as you mentioned. He does dissuade some picks, but we'll see. I guess they're probably going to put him in a similar kind of driving position. I loosely call it the 1 position because he jungled throughout that last match, but we'll see.
He's all bad.
He's all bad. All right, take that back.
He's from the depths of hell. He has no good in him.
He is true evil. Evil to the core. That's definitely for sure. Lifestealer, though, going to make it all the way into last pick, last ban territory here. Any thoughts about the Lifestealer? Is he going to be in the sights of either of these drafts, you think?
I think that VP should definitely take Lifestealer if they can. Like, no doubt about it. It's not that great for Windrunner, but if you have a puck to blink and initiate, the Windrunner is not that big of a problem.
Yeah, anytime you can grab Lifestealer puck, it's a dirty combo, as we've seen in games previous today. But Lifestealer, he's a powerful pick regardless. And yeah, there it is, that final Lifestealer ban. Can't say I'm too surprised. OSG going to be looking for, I guess, a prominent mid laner here. They've got Crystal Maiden, Wind Ranger, Mirana, and I don't know. Maybe they'll grab a TA against the puck. It's possible, I suppose, pending what Virtus Pro ban here. No, they're going to ban out the OD. Okay, that would have been another good pick as well.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah.
It's going to be a
Shadow Fiend. Puck does not too great for Shadow Fiend too, so this is a pretty good pickup from OSG. But at the same time, he may have to worry about a Venom Romeo on him constantly.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Venomancer roaming in those early levels. Shadow Fiend going to be hard pressed to survive if a Gale connects with him. That's one of those difficult issues. Why Venomancer is such a irritating support. If you don't have a true escape mechanism, those early phase ganks can be a little bit irritating. We'll see what Virtus Pro want to grab right here. I mean, Furion is in the pool if they want to go that route, but we'll see.
Yeah, Furion, they need a carry though. Gyrocopter, safest bet. Alchemist is not bad here. I think Alchemist would do pretty well.
They banned him.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay, well, scratch that.
Scratch that. Whoa. Oh, the Anti-Mage. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, he's all right. He's okay with Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend can still win a man fight, but if both of them are equal farm, I think Anti-Mage will because he can get a Basher, whereas SF can't. But it really will come down to the support play. Can they keep the Shadow Fiend down? Can Venomancer and the Visage do their job? But I mean, as we saw last game, AA and GOTM were very, very active in the early game, and I don't think that OSG will be able to put tower pressure like Alliance. So I must say the early game advantage, even with the Anti-Mage, still goes to VP.
Yeah, and again, I think that Veno's probably going to be pretty active, but time will tell. So, all right, let's introduce our rosters here on our Radiant side. We do have Team OSG. In the bottom lane, Big Num going to be playing on the Mirana. Chomi going to be playing on the Shadow Fiend in the mid lane here. Headed up to the top, it's going to be... Do you know how to say this guy's name? I say it Topo, and I think that's incorrect. Someone corrected me once, and I'm forgetting the correct pronunciation. Is it Tipo?
It's called backwards hopped.
Hopped. Backwards hopped.
I'm just going to call him hopped. Tipo is too difficult to say. Call him hopped and jot him.
Topo. Wicked Sick going to be playing on Windrunner. That is a stand-in. Not sure exactly who that is. Could be somebody under an alias. And we've got We Just... Stop moving around, man. I can't read. We Just Zik going to be on the Crystal Maiden. I love that Crystal Maiden outfit as well. That cute little hood she's got going on. It's just so adorable. She's all bundled up for the cold. It's so cute. On the Dire side, we've got Team Virtus Pro. Up in the top lane, going to have Illidan, hard farming in the safe lane on that Anti-Mage. ars-art going to be supporting on the mighty Venomancer. And ars-art actually going to take a little bit of early pressure here. Going to take a Frostbite, a couple of right clicks from the frosty Crystal Maiden there. And Wicked Sick going to grab himself that Invis rune that did spawn at the top position. Anyhow, we've got Jotum on the Visage here and headed to the top lane as well. God going to be playing on the Puck in the mid lane. And of course, Light of Heaven going to be solo off lane in the long lane on that Doom down here in the bottom, going toe-to-toe up against Big Num on that Mirana.
Yep. And Chomi on the Shadow Fiend, not really under any pressure yet, and they're kind of, zone out hopped, but it's not really going to do that much there. And Wicked Sick actually sentries the big camp, so they won't be able to use that, which I think is a really smart move from them. But the supports on the side of VP need to start moving. I don't think that he really needs two supports babysit him, and I also think that killing Shadow Fiend is the #1 priority in the early game. Looking at the early CS and mid, Shadow Fiend, only 1-0 Puck, trying to play a little bit aggressively on him, but yeah, he's gotten some early souls, and looks like Light of Heaven is in a lot of danger, but we'll just TP out.
Yeah, so Light of Heaven going to port to the top tier 1 already. He's like, you know what, forget it, I'm going to abandon. Let's farm the jungle here, but we could see some initiation already. Gale going to come out, will connect with the Clockwork. He's going to throw the cogs and just try and walk out to safety. But look at ars-art with the crafty play behind the trees. He's going to forgo the cogs. Now Illidan going to blink forward. I think Topo going to be in big trouble here. The Shackle! Oh, that might buy him some time. He's going to use the healing solve. Illidan's still going to try and chase him down here. Don't know that he's going to be able to finish it off. He is going to get stuck inside the cogs. Visage going to come in with a few last auto attacks, and there it is. Illidan's still going to grab that first blood. Might have gotten a little overexcited about that Shackle, but that was a good way to start off the game, connecting with a Shackle and 2 heroes.
Yeah, this is very, very bad for OSG. Anti-Mage already getting a first blood, but Illidan doesn't have any mana anymore. They can't harass him out with a Windrunner in the lane, and he still does need babysitting. GOTM is trying to help out Illidan as he is manning up on those heroes. Looks like AA with a haste will attempt to go on. Does he not see it coming? Oh no, this is disastrous.
Oh, Chomi, you're in big trouble, buddy. He's not going to be able to survive this one. God going to come forward.
They
There's
have a
the
ward
rift
up there too.
Oh.
That's the sad part.
Wow, you're right. Look at that. Oh no.
I mean, it's a haste, so he doesn't have that much time to react, but his support, somebody has to be like, Shadow Fiend, you need to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much OSG's only saving grace for this early game. I mean, Potem is free farming, but it's not a load upon him.
Up in the top lane, though, Clockwork going to be in some trouble. He's just getting right-clicked down. ars-art going to come in. A little bit of poison left. There's going to be a Plague Ward forward to Poe, trying to find some space. They just need vision. Oh, no, they're not going to be able to finish this off. He is going to find his way into the trees. That Plague Ward just not going to give him enough sight. Very unfortunate indeed. All the while in the bottom lane, Big Num on the Mirana does have that early Basilius, similar to what Loda did in the last game. Going to pressure this tower a little bit here, but just soaking up the free farm at the moment, while Light of Heaven enjoying free farm in his safe jungle. So Virtus.pro, obviously, with the big advantage here, the early kill on Shadow Fiend, first blood on Anti-Mage. Doesn't really get better than that in terms of an opener in a matchup like this.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to pressure the tower, though. Their creep control isn't as good, and the tower is going to take like maybe 400 damage, but that's about it. And that's not really, that doesn't really warrant a rotation from VP. Yeah, sure, they use a glyph, but it's still not enough. And Doom already level 4 too, so he's already off to a really good start compared to what we saw last game.
Yeah, absolutely right about that. So things going to settle down a little bit here. Virtus.pro support's just going to move back into the jungle and keep farming away, get a little bit of lane control back for the old Anti-Mage. And AM actually not doing as well in last hits as we would like to see, perhaps. Only 11-5 compared to his counterpart, the Mirana, farming in the bottom lane, 20-5. Though some of that because they've been going for those kills. So it's still worthy, still #1 on the net worth chart, but going to start to rack up those last hits. There's going to be a regeneration rune spawning here at the 4-minute mark in the top position. ars-art going to try and keep it safe for Puck, perhaps, but Wicked Sick just going to come in, and he's going to deny that rune. ars-art, unfortunately...
ars-art, he misclicked.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, ars-art, not enough mana for a Gale. It would have been nice if he could have grabbed that regen just to get up into Gale territory to maybe set something up top, but, yeah. Can't win them all, right?
Yeah, he should have been able to get that rune though, or just place a Plague Ward on the left side just to make sure that no one comes. It's not like he doesn't have the mana for it.
Yeah.
Jotun gets shackled, but nothing coming out.
Oh man, one of the things I love about the delay server, you get to watch the replay of the shackle. I guess that's on par with LD had one in MLG Columbus that he went crazy about, though I'm forgetting what it is now. Oh, it was the refraction. Refraction.
They know that AA is down there.
Yeah, I think they caught wind of. I mean, they have a ward right here, so they should know. But as we've seen, this ward is I don't know, maybe giving them some bad intel or something, because it should give them the insight. But we'll see. ars-art doing a pretty good job. This is the kind of Venomancer I like. I like seeing a Venomancer be very active, roaming around, trying to set up those kills. I think he's been doing a good job.
I'm not a big fan of like the passive ward. I mean, ward is a good spell. Don't get me wrong, but like if you're gonna farm it with a jungle, just get Enigma.
Yeah. I agree with that. So he is going to smoke up, though. Looks like Veno does want to rotate into the mid lane. Chomi could be in a little bit of trouble, though. Good timing for Chomi here to move into the jungle. Going to find himself some mud golems. Ugh.
Ew. Run away.
Not what he was looking for. So ars-art, he's just going to be patient here. He's going to hang out, though. Chomi is going to come down. He's going to sip up that bottle, maybe stack this Wild Wing.
He has a TP scroll, so maybe he can live. If G uses his Dream Coil too early, then he can just TP out. So I think it's a good pickup by him.
Yep. So, it looks like he is going to stack the camp. Chomi going to head back to the lane, and he's going to buy himself plenty of time, and ars-art just going to grab himself this double damage rune, perhaps. 6-minute rune spawn. Nope, not going to grab it. God going to just come by and grab that DD. So now Shadow Fiend could be in some trouble if they do try to pull that rotation, but oh no, Crystal Maiden near the Dire Secret Shop. She's going to walk right into a double damage Puck, who's level 7 to boot. Oh no, this could be so rough. ars-art, he's in no man's land right now. His mana's going to get burned. This is a disaster for Virtus.pro. Puck going to get shackled. He's going to fall. Anti-Mage forced to retreat. ars-art just going to walk through the tower. I thought that was going to be bad for OSG, but it went the complete other way.
CM got the jump on Puck, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So he had his DD, but wasn't able. I don't even think he got a right click off with it.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. I thought Puck was at least going to be able to do something right there, but I guess a nice shackle shot going to come out and will make his life more difficult. Mana burn from Clockwork also hindering the efforts of said Venomancer.
Yep. OSG. Smoke will be popped. Light of Heaven,
Ooh.
Dead.
Yep, down he goes. Pretty easy kill, I suppose. A 3 versus 1. Nice to see that they're putting some pressure on Doom in the jungle, though. A nice change of pace from last game where he was left to his own devices for quite some while. Nice to see this Mirana moving about a bit as well. Big Num off to a pretty good start. He's got his treads, also has Gloves of Haste in the bank, so most likely going to be going for the Hand of Midas there. A good game for it indeed, as he has been static farming pretty much the entire match thus far. Any thoughts about the power treads before Midas here for Mirana in a game like this, where she's been so passive and able just to freeform? I mean, would the super
yeah,
fast
she should
Midas
have
have
just
been
gone
better?
straight Midas.
Yeah.
She could be going for Maelstrom too instead. I don't know. I would expect a Midas, but she's been super farm. She has what, like 1,500 gold from the treads. She could have already had Midas plus like 800 gold. She could have almost had Midas treads by now instead of just having a 800 gold and a Gloves of Haste.
Yep. Yeah, exactly right. So, still a pretty passive game. I guess kind of what we would expect. Anytime you see an anti-mage, he's going to be pretty passive, as we had talked about. Oh, actually going to get stuck inside the cogs here, and some crowd control going to come out. That shackle not going to latch. If that had latched, I think that would have been a dead anti-mage, but he is.
They have
be
a
able to
ward
blink
there.
out.
They got to be really careful. They know that they have like 3 heroes there. So VP, we haven't seen a Doom coming out from Light of Heaven yet. They do need to kill Chomi. They kind of left him unchecked, but he's still not that far. He pretty much only has power treads right now.
Smoke going to be used by Doom as well as the Veno. They're going to rotate their way through the mid lane, perhaps looking for a Shadow Fiend here. But Shadow Fiend's just going to be sitting back. He's in a safe position once again. They're looking for him. God is invisible as well. Desperately trying to find Chomi. And just look at him stationed in the trees. I like this positioning right here. They can't find him. They don't know where he's hiding. Puck going to come around the backside, though. Going to bump into Crystal Maiden once again. CM maybe wise to it. Going to go ahead and just burn the Dream Coil. Waning Rift. There's the orb to follow up. That's a dead CM. This time going to go the other way around. Puck going to be the one to grab the kill. Is going to take the orb and just head to the other side of the lane and go back to trying to contest Chomi here. Pretty nice little play. Going to grab the hero kill lead in favor of Virtus Pro once again. Some Midas is being picked up, though. Now one on the Mirana, also one on the Doom. So Light of Heaven going to switch it up again from last game. And this time will indeed grab that hand of Midas for more static farm fest, 4 points in Devour. So this will be a hard farming Doom here, Merlini. Oh, dude also, but hard farming Doom dude.
Yeah, Illidan is actually pretty underfarmed. He has treads, and he will have his Perseverance soon, but still, that's just not what you're looking for as an AM who got First Blood. His CS is actually below Shadow Fiends right now, and below Priestess of the Moons. And yeah, he's been under a little bit of pressure, but he's also had his supports pretty much there all game.
Yeah. He is still number 1 on net worth, though. That little bit of bonus gold he got from the First
Smoke on
Blood.
bottom.
Yep, still working for him there. And there is going to be a 3-man smoke coming down. ars-art going to be the target of choice. He is going to throw a Gale, will connect, but I think he's going to be in big trouble here. The Shackle going to connect. Power Shot will be off the mark. Still going to be enough for the kill nonetheless, as Light of Heaven hiding in the trees is just going to port out to safety. So that will level it out 3 apiece here as we pass that 10-minute mark. Looking at the gold graph, Virtus Pro with a very, very minor lead. About 700 gold or so. OSG taking the experience lead for now. But another very passive early game here.
Yep, we may see a tower go down. First tower of the game on bottom, though. There is still a glyph, but AA is way too low right now. He's only level 4, Visage only level 5, almost level 6, though. Once he gets his familiars, that will be a very big help to to VP, rather. Checking the supports on the side of OSG. CM level 5.5, Wind Ranger level 6, so they're doing much, much better, although Wind Ranger's ultimate, not very useful.
Yeah. That's definitely true. Still have a small level advantage, though, as you mentioned, JOTM did just now hit level 6, so the birds are on the field. That's when Visage really starts to come online. But alas, the first tower has fallen in favor of OSG. Going to give them a small little gold boost here. Mirana actually the one to grab the last hit, so she'll get a bit of bonus gold as well. Mirana's actually 2-0-1, so not only has Big Num been farming,
on bottom. AA might die again.
Also picking up some kills. Yeah, that'll be the Moonlight Shadow forward. Crystal Nova to start it off. The Frostbite, the Shackle, Starstorm. That'll be an easy kill. Another 3 versus 1. Poor AA. He is starting to fall
There's
behind.
no pressure out from VP right now. Doom's not doing anything. He's just passively farming up. I don't think I've seen Doom yet this game. Oh, there it goes.
Now Doom could be in some trouble, but Tapo actually could be the one in a little bit of trouble here. He is going to grab the kill. Doom's still going to be on. It's going to be close. I don't know that it's going to be enough for a kill. Visage trying to fly his way over. 1 or 2 auto attacks ought to do it. Is he going to be able to survive? The Familiar's coming in. He's going to have about 60 hit points to spare and will sip up that bottle. So grab that haste rune, a nice gank, and a slow down the farming of the Doom. OSG kind of making all the right calls right here, picking up some kills and capitalizing on the passivity of Virtus Pro.
Yeah, they have aggressive supports too, and they have level 6 on Doom. They have level 8 on Doom, so they again, the Doom pick, why are you just going to AFK jungle farm a Doom? If you want to do that, pick something better, or actually, like, they just need to make use of Doom and make use of Venomancer too. They haven't putting any pressure on the Shadow Fiend. He stacked this camp probably like 6 times already. He's well on his way towards BKB, and he is by far the CS leader, and he should be the net worth leader. And yeah, they have an anti-mage or the late game secure, but they have a decent 4 on 4 space creators in their other 4, but they just aren't doing anything. AA has just died twice in a row on bottom. Light of Heaven just farming jungle 0-2-0 on him. Doom, reactive Doom on the Clockwork. They can put pressure, they can get kills, and they're just choosing not to do so, and it's really hurting them.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm a little worried for Virtus Pro in the upcoming 5 to 10 minutes where Anti-Mage still hasn't quite come online, and obviously, as you just mentioned, Mirana and Shadow Fiend both farming very well, and they kind of, I don't want to say they peak in the mid game, but that is definitely where they start to thrive with all of Mirana's burst damage, Shadow Fiends as well. Anti-Mage may be able to outcarry them, but he's got to get there first. Still doesn't have the Battle Fury, though he's well on his way, has the Perseverance and Claymore, just going to need that one last piece. So this is actually going to be a pretty damn fast Battle Fury here for Illidan. As long as Virtus Pro cannot concede too many deaths, Doom and Anti-Mage should be in good shape in terms of carry potential, but again, getting there is the tricky part. We see a little bit of rotating up to the top lane from OSG, JOTM stationed in the trees, very safe, and that will well, waste a little bit of the time from OSG as they are trying to stay aggressive here.
Yep, Light of Heaven has moved to the opponent's jungle, and they need some sentries to protect their important heroes. Anti-Mage choosing to farm the jungle too. He's very close to his Battle Fury. Just needs about 600 gold to complete that, but still not the greatest timing, especially considering the first blood. He could have gotten it probably at like 13 minutes. Now it's going to come out at like 15 and a half, 16.
Yep. So Venomancer making a little bit of recovery here, though. At least he's spending some time in the mid lane. Is now level 6, so that Poison Nova going to become a reality, though that mana pool going to be his biggest issue at this point. That is one problem with the Venomancer. Looks like some pressure going to befall this top tier 1 tower.
Oh, he has Blink. That's I didn't see him get that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, God's got himself a Blink Dagger here. Looks like we could see some tier 1 tower exchanging, though. Virtus Pro going to group up in the bottom lane. The Anti-Mage and the Doom going to start pressuring that tier 1. Clockwork will port in. Does have a double damage rune on. Other ports going to come in as well.
Nice movement to go left instead of the very predictable route where he would have just gotten hook-shotted. So very nice movement from Light of Heaven.
Yep, Illidan going to be able to blink away as well. So they will survive. They'll also fend off the push in the top lane. And now Virtus Pro is going to call a rotation. Now they might be able to grab themselves this top tier 1 tower as the bottom tier 1 gets denied. So well, Virtus Pro starting to level out the tower count a little bit. Don't know they're going to be able to grab this top tier 1. But they are stationed about 4 members here in the top lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So both sides just sitting back. Illidan might be in a little bit of trouble here. Shackle is going to connect. Power shot as well. Clockwork trying to come in. Is he going to use the hook shot? Indeed he will. They're trying to stagger those stuns.
He missed the arrow.
Oh no. That was a bit of a wasted opportunity, but now Puck going to burn the Dream Coil. Only going to connect with the Wind Ranger, and yeah, going to be forced to get the hell out of there as Shadow Fiend joins the mix. Still nice no kills coming out.
Cannot miss an arrow on a Shackle target. That would have been a really big kill.
Yeah.
But now he has his Battle Fury.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would have been a great time to shut him down as well. So Anti-Mage going to luck out a little bit perhaps. OSG will grab themselves that tier 1 tower kill mid. So tower count going to be 2-1 in their favor. Of course, the one that they did kill the one that they lost was denied. So there is a bit of a gold disparity there. Small gold lead on their front. Actually a decent experience lead for OSG as well, sitting at about 2,000. So that Hand of Midas on Mirana helping to mitigate the farming powers of Light of Heaven's Doom. Only 2 Midas on the field. I'm sure that'll make some people happy.
Light of Heaven should get a Vlad's this game, and so they're gonna do Roshan because OSG, like, Shadow Fiend's still a little bit fragile. Yeah, he has BKB, but he is still 0-1-0, and he doesn't really have that many other survivability items. He can still die, especially if he gets doomed down or caught in a coil. So I think that he still needs an Aegis really, really badly, and VP could definitely use it. But OSG, pretty good control of this game right now. They can do Roshan themselves too, but they kind of have to sneak it in just because VP has much better skills to scout it out. Free tower for Light of Heaven and mid.
Yep, free tower in the top lane as well for the Shadow Fiend, so some tier 1s getting taken out. Only 1 remaining, which of course is the top for the Radiant side. Both sides being very cautious not to take any team fights here. Just pushing and farming and back to safety. I see it more so from the side of Virtus Pro. I would be a little bit more worrisome if I was OSG. This is right around that time where I'd be looking to try and take some team fights, while Anti-Mage has that farming tool. If they can shut him down maybe once or twice before he really starts to take off, that could be huge. But they need to do something, because if Illidan is left unchecked, he is really going to start to skyrocket here.
Yeah, Illidan is doing Ancients right now. Yeah, he is just ramping up his farm immensely. And yeah, he's probably a little bit behind in net worth now. He's, what, 500 behind the Shadow Fiend and right on par with the Priest of the Moon. But he is just going to farm so fast now. Just being able to blink around. He is really low now. 200 HP. He can get mech'd up. So mech's a good pickup too from Doom. I like either mech or Vlad. I think Vlad would have been slightly better if they want to take Roshan, but if they want to fight, then mech is far superior.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the blink on Puck, you know, there is definitely some potential for some team fighting here. As OSG have knocked down all 3 of the Tier 1 towers, they're going to start knocking on the doors of these Tier 2s, and the Tier 2 in the mid going to be that target of choice. We'll see how Virtus Pro want to react. Looks like they may try and pressure the bottom Tier 2. Both God and Jadam going to be down there, and the rest of Virtus Pro station kind of about the mid lane, though it appears VP just going to sacrifice it. They're more interested in farming, and they'll let OSG take out that central access point there in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think that with the early mech, they could have fought. If they just Doom either Potom or Shadow Fiend, or even Clockwork would be pretty good before the hookshot and Cog. Then they can win the fight. But the Plague Wars were placed like at the side of the tower instead of in front of the tower, which would have delayed the push a little bit longer. And with the tower that low, it's not easy to defend at all. But at the same time, Roshan is opened up for VP. They have taken down the T1 and T1 in bottom and in mid. And OSG is kind of open up to them. They still have that T2 tower down on bottom, which is a little bit of a problem. Mirana getting an easy kill on Doom.
Yep. Illidan trying to come in, but is he going to be able to finish off Tron there on the Clockwork? That might be enough to get him. Oh, he is going to get denied by the Mirana. Nicely played by Big Num, and Illidan going to be forced to blink out, but it might not be enough. Mirana going to finish him off. Oh, no, what a disaster. 2 for 1. Mirana getting a valuable kill on that Clockwork. God going to come in. He'll blink forward. Will burn the Dream Coil. Big Num going to stand his ground.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, this Mirana is out of control.
He didn't have enough mana.
That was bad. That was
really
so bad. All the while in the bottom lane, though, a little bit of potential. It looks like Visage got picked off in the bottom lane as well. Oh, no. All of a sudden here, Merlini, Virtus Pro just crumbling. Oh,
yeah.
That was painful.
That was painful indeed. They don't have enough sentries, too. They just, like, walk up to them and engage. So they just need to be more vigilant about that. Maybe carry a gem on Light of Heaven, but OSG should not be getting the jump on VP at this point in the game. VP has to smarten up, defend Anti-Mage a little bit better, and just get the jump on them. They have the Puck, they have the Doom, but again, Light of Heaven being very, very passive on the Doom. He hasn't even gotten a kill yet this whole entire game. 0, 3, and 0.
Oh. Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't mind the hard farming Doom with Midas and Devour. You can really, like, rack up the farm pretty quickly, but you got to at least try and use the ulti, move around, do something, try and capitalize or maximize your hero, whatever eyes I'm looking for. Basically, every Doom I've seen from him has been that kind of last ditch, oh man, I think I'm going to die, I might as well just use this cooldown. And that's...
Yeah, and it's been on the Clockwork of all heroes.
Yeah,
like,
Clockwork 2 out of 2, I think. Not the kind of Doom I like to see, let's put it that way. Meanwhile, Mirana, 6-0-1, had free farm to start off this game, is starting to fall behind in CS a little because she's been roaming around, but definitely making up for it in hero kills. And yeah, Anti-Mage, he's got the Battle Fury, but that initial bit of farm, a lot of it got wasted following that last kill, and of course all the time he spent trying to fight. Here we go. There's an aggressive Doom onto Tron, and he's going to fall. That's going to be a pretty easy kill, but support going to be coming in. A lot of ports. The Sacred Arrow going to fly over the trees. Illidan going to juke down, and he will survive. So a couple of wasted ports right there. But they do get a kill on the Clockwork. Not too shabby, but not too groundbreaking either.
G trying to go for the Wind Ranger, but he will just get Moonlight Shadow and run away. And he does have a mech.
Oh, alright, he's going to connect with a Shackle there. No follow-up, unfortunately, but I think Wicked Sick will be able to survive this one.
He almost got caught out by the dust, too.
Yeah.
Well, they may turn this around, but they need a Shackle to lead things off.
Yeah, God, though, showing that he burned his blink, doesn't have the Dream Coil. That Shackle not going to connect. This Shadow Fiend is hungry. He wants blood. ars-art just going to pour it out. God does have a port of his own, so may be able to survive this. A nice blink backwards, and is going to survive. Well played there by Virtus Pro. Both of them going to live. The Shadow Fiend's starting to get a little scary. He's got BKB, got himself another ultimate orb, and yeah, I'm not surprised they ran from that one. All the while, though, Illidan trying to solo Roshan, and this could be a disaster. OSG going to come their way over. or find their way over. And that will force back the anti-mage. Of course, they know some trickery was afoot. Roshan at half health. And they may very well just take it for themselves here. 4-second arrow stun. They're going to do it. OSG may find themselves a free Roshan kill.
Yeah, that's a big mistake by VP. They have to get control over the map before they can do that. And yeah, they got a kill on Clockwork, but now Doom is down and Clockwork is back up. That's the wrong time to do Roshan. And with Shadow Fiend having that, and with Potom pretty much being out of control right now, she has her Lincoln Sphere as well as Midas Drums and Power Treads. VP is a very bad position right now. They kind of need a power farm with Anti-Mage, get a Mantis Cell up on him, and they also need to make sure that he doesn't get picked off with Moonlight Shadow as he split pushes.
Yep, let's glance at some inventories here. Again, Mirana getting close to finishing the Lincolns, it would appear. Tron going to be grabbing the Blade Mail. Wicked Sick on the Wind Runner now has... I keep stumbling with Wind Runner. I want to say Wind Ranger, and then Runner just kind of pops out. Does have the mech going to be working towards a Force Staff. Does have that Staff of Wizardry.
Oh, where's the Doom? He has the Invis. I don't know why he's so scared.
I don't know either.
Light of heaven, man. Light of heaven.
I don't know either. I don't know what to say. Anti-Mage, though, he's the one that's going to grab the Vlads, not going to be the Doom. So at least they did get the Vlads you were talking about. Step in the right direction. And God does have his ultimate orb now, so going to be pulling up that gold, saving for the Mystic Staff to, of course, grab a Sheep Stick, no doubt. But still a ways off that mark. Shadow Fiend now going to grab himself a Yasha, so of course moving towards the Manta style to go with that ultimate orb. And Crystal Maiden got the Hood of Defiance already, so going to be going for a very early pipe to try and deal with this Venomancer. I like the choice here. We've talked about how Veil can kind of counter the pipe, but going to be quite some while before ars-art finds himself a Veil of Discord, so I like that choice from the Crystal Maiden here.
Yeah, Venomancer's only level 8 too, so pretty much his whole entire ultimate is going to be negated by the Pipe of Insight.
Yep. So going to be a little, see a little more tower exchanging here. We'll see OSG pressure the top tier 2 for Virtus Pro. Arrow going to fly to scout it out. They see no one's nearby. They've got a little bit of vision of the mid and bottom lane, so they're going to feel safe taking out this top tier 2 tower. Only one outer tower remaining for Virtus Pro, and they've only taken out 2 themselves. Illidan deep in enemy territory. You're going to start pressuring this bottom tier 2 tower. But look at this. OSG, they say, all right, you guys don't want to defend. We know your glyph is down. Let's do this thing. They're going to start knocking on the front door of the Virtus Pro base. This top tier 3 tower taking some pressure. Clockwork going to throw the hook shot. Yeah, not going to connect, and it looks like Virtus Pro going to commit to taking out that tier 2 in the bottom lane, and this tier 3 actually going to take a lot of damage here. It's going to be close to falling. It'll certainly go into deny range. I don't know if that was a good exchange here, Merlini. They're going to lose a tier 3 in exchange for a tier 2.
It was not a good exchange at all, and now they have to defend their racks, and OSG can probably take it with the Aegis.
Yep.
But, I mean, they have a lot of Venom Wars set up, but it's still very big decision by OSG there, and they weren't punished for it at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And the glyph rotation coming in, they had that extra bit of time because they still had theirs available. Very nicely played.
Oh, no sentry wards. Are you kidding? Uh-oh, they are so screwed. And they know that they don't have any sentries or else the Venom Ward's going to attack them.
Oh, no. They're going to go straight in here. Veno going to use the dust, but it's going to be too late. Veno going to fall. He's going to buy back right away, so it's still a 5v5 on the field. Wicked Sick going to mech right away. The Dream Coil comes out. Show Me going to BKB, channel that Requiem of Souls, but he is going to get doomed. It's going to cancel it. They're still in the fight, though. It looks like Wind Ranger going to be the next to fall. That's going to be the Doom. The Anti-Mage. It's looking dark for Virtus Pro in this engage. They very well may lose racks right here. Shadow Fiend still alive despite getting doomed. Down goes the Visage. ars-art somehow still alive, but oh man, they get a counter kill. Puck going to be able to finish off the Mirana.
The Rex isn't that close to dying though, so yeah. I don't even. They might not be able to get the Rex.
That'll be the end of the Aegis. Maybe this Aegis will be what they needed to finish off the barracks here. Tron in the front lines. God going to be forced to port back to the base. Gale going to come out. Will connect with a couple heroes, but Shadow Fiend just going to stand his ground. He wants to finish off this ranged racks, and he's going to get it. Oh man, at least Puck got that kill on Mirana. 1,200 gold bounty going the way of God following that, and they are going to leave with the melee racks still up.
That's not that bad of a fight for VP. I thought it was going to go a lot worse with the Aegis, but Anti-Mage did die. It was decent Doom coming out from Light of Heaven on the BKB Shadow Fiend who was channeling Requiem, but losing only the range Rex in that engagement, it could have gone a lot worse, and they did manage to kill the Potom, as you said, so Puck well on his way to Sheep. He's going to have it in 300 gold. Illidan really needs his Manta Style, though. Like, I think he got caught in a frostbite and then just died.
Yeah, I mean, he's still not that close. I mean, he's got the Yasha, only 800 in the bank, still doesn't have the orb. So, going to be a little while before he has that Manta. I think OSG would be well advised to continue putting on the pressure. And looking at that net worth chart, getting another kill on Anti-Mage. We see him in the 3rd position and well behind the Shadow Fiend by about 3,000 gold or so. So there is still a pretty large disparity between these carries. OSG still in a position to carry this momentum into a successful victory here, though. But Virtus Pro still in it, of course, anytime there's an Anti-Mage on the field with the Battle Fury. Experience graph about 7,500 in favor of OSG. Gold graph about 5,000. So holding on to that victory, or holding on to that lead. Pardon me. A double damage rune going to be in the top lane though, or the top position. Clockwork going to grab it. We'll see what OSG want to do right here.
And it's off.
Yeah, the OSG should not have been able to take a Rax with only a 5,000 gold advantage. VP just really screwed the pooch right there without having some heroes just there to defend. They had a couple, but it was just way too slow. They used the glyph prematurely and just sacrificed a T3. So that was just overall bad decision making by VP. And overall, I don't really think the Anti-Mage, they haven't really seemed to like be practicing well with the Anti-Mage. They don't really play well with them, just because you have some heroes running around trying to do stuff, and then you have very, very passive play. For example, like G has been trying to be active around the map, always trying to get kills as Puck, but then you have Light of Heaven not really dooming anybody. You have your 2 supports babysitting Anti-Mage on top and still getting a late Battle Fury on him. And just letting the Shadow Fiend farm up. Like, Shadow Fiend was really far behind. Now he is 2-1-3, by far the leader on the net worth, 15,000, and they will easily take another Rax.
Yep, they're going to press forward here. Still no glyph available for Virtus Pro, and this ranged Rax going to fall before the fight even starts. Double damage rune on Tron, and they're just going to back out. OSG might not even need to fight here. I think they'll be happy with just getting the melee Rax, backing up and resetting, saving it for another day. God going to poke out very far here. He's kind of in no man's land. But,
he should have gone. He should have gone on that. There was 2 TPs on bottom, the 2 big heroes too, Shadow Fiend and bottom.
Yeah. Was just worried he was going to get turned around on, but I guess they thought support was right there. He didn't have the burst to finish him off, so... Yep, going to back out. There is also a pipe on the Crystal Maiden now that has been completed, and Gem now going to be in the inventory of the Venomancer, of course on the Dire side. But in terms of other big item pickups, Puck now with a Sheep Stick, so I don't think he...
It all goes back to that Roshan, though.
Yeah.
VP, if they didn't get that, if they got that Roshan or just didn't even attempt it and not leave it at half HP and have some heroes that have to go back home, then OSG wouldn't have been able to take it and they wouldn't have been able to get the T3 and the Rax.
Yep. It looks like Chomi on the Shadow Fiend going to be working towards a Butterfly. Does have himself that Eagle Song already. So going to be well on his way. I love the item choice pickup, or the item pickup here. Anti-Mage still working on his Manta. Going to be a little bit off, grabbing an MKB to deal with that evasion. So that'll give a nice edge to OSG again when they have that 35% evasion on their good buddy Shadow Fiend. Of course, Doom's still a problem.
They don't even have the T1 on top. Like, Illidan just needs to backdoor that. That should not be up 30 minutes in the game, especially when you have an Anti-Mage who has been split pushing the whole game. Or attempting a split push.
Yeah, and on the note of towers, that will be the end of the Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, the last outer tower for Virtus Pro as it gets finished off, and everyone just heads back to farming.
Regeneration.
Let's see here. Something else I was going to mention.
Oh, he does want to backdoor it, actually, but there are 3 heroes there, buddy.
Oh, and they're going to smoke up.
One smoke gets immediately popped.
Oh no, look at this. He's going to blink right into him. He has no idea. Illidan going to be on cooldown, or Blink going to be on cooldown for another second or two. He's going to be in big trouble here. Down he goes. Clockwork going to finish him off. The hook shot might maybe off the mark, but wow, that was...
Blink in there.
Whew, that was unlucky. I don't even think that they did that intentionally. They just wanted to smoke up and move into the jungle, and then he had no clue. Oh man, that was just one of those really unfortunate, no idea. OSG's like, oh hi Anti-Mage, let's do this thing. that was really unfortunate for Illidan.
Well, he has to buy back, but he doesn't have his Manta style if he buys back, so he's in a really bad position. Again, Illidan putting in his team in bad position, first with the Roshan and now with that death.
Yep. So now he's, again, like you said, going to have to make that executive decision. Also, if Veno gets picked off, he still doesn't have buyback. It's on cooldown, doesn't have enough gold either. Pipe going to be used very proactively here. There is a glyph available for Virtus Pro, so they will have a chance to defend this. Gale going to come in, is going to connect. Poison Nova going to come out as well, so we're going to see these heroes start ticking down. Well played by the Venomancer as the pipe is already off. Shadow Fiend going to BKB, going to channel the Requiem of Souls. Going to connect with one Visage Bird.
Yep, that was not a good fight for OSG at all. That was nice engagement by G though, forcing them to pop their BKBs. He could have used his sheep too, and really made OSG scared, but he didn't really need to. All they needed to do was buy time for Illidan. They also should have used their glyph too, because now engagement is probably not going to come for 5 minutes, and tower is already really, really low too. So they could use a glyph preemptively if Illidan isn't going to buy back. If he is going to buy back, then yeah, maybe they can bait OSG into there. But if they're just buying time, they definitely should have used a glyph, especially when the pipe was used.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to get an easy Roshan. Probably not. AA is actually scouting around with CM.
Dire's middle tower is
CM
under attack.
illusions.
Yeah. So yeah, they do have some intel here. They know Virtus Pro are stationed about the pit. Some Plague Wards coming down for a little bit of high ground vision as well. Virtus Pro perhaps hoping OSG will poke their heads forward and they can catch them off guard. But Anti-Mage didn't buy back, as you mentioned, so now going to have the Manta style. His items slowly but surely getting more and more powerful. Shadow Fiend has now completed his Butterfly. And also Morana grabbed a Linken's. I don't know if we mentioned that, but we did see the big blue orb on top of the Shadow Fiend. Well, it's also on him right now, so he does have that Linken's buff. Like the choice here. OSG going to move forward here. They're just going to venture through the mid lane. Not too worried about Roshan, but looks like based on the mini-map here, they're going to move straight up the mid lane.
Dire's middle tower is
And they're
under
going to go
attack.
for it. Glyph's still available for Virtus Pro. We'll see how they react. It looks like Anti-Mage just wants to pressure this bottom tier 3. I don't know. This could backfire a little bit. We'll see. Virtus Pro going to come up from behind, though. Pipe going to be used proactively once again. Glyph going to come out. Tower taking a lot of damage. Glyph going to end. Tower will fall.
Dire's middle tower.
Now, how's this fight going to transpire here? Chomi trying to go in. He does have the Requiem of Souls, but he is going to get doomed through the BKB. He's going to stand his ground to start to fight. Visage will be the first to fall. Awkward positioning here from OSG. As, yeah, there's the Sheepstick onto the Shadow Fiend. He's going to be in big trouble here. The Dream Coil came out, but he is going to blow up. He's going to do a good bit of damage. The Anti-Mage falls, as does the Doom. Shackle going to come out. That'll finish off God. Virtus Pro not going to find the fight they were looking for. Anti-Mage is going to buy back, as will the Puck. Shadow Fiend going to join the buyback party as well. It looks like Virtus Pro will hold, but not going to find the better of the exchange. Oh, not over yet. Hook shot in. Ars-art going to fall. That's going to be a triple kill coming out for Tron. God going to be in big trouble now as he's stun locked. And now it's just the Anti-Mage. Yeah, he's going to be able to
maybe not.
blow up the Morana and the Windrunner. What an ultimate right there. Still no glyph available. Rax exposed. The pipe comes out. Anti-Mage and Visage, I think, going to be in a difficult spot in terms of trying to keep these Rax alive. Shadow Fiend hits like a truck. No MKB to deal with the Butterfly. I don't think Anti-Mage can go toe-to-toe with that Shadow Fiend.
Dire's middle barracks
Yeah,
are under
and they can
attack.
do Roshan right now and then pretty much steal the deal from here.
Yep. So OSG really in a great spot. Gold lead now, 10,000. Experience lead comparable to boot. And yeah, Roshan going to take a 5-second stun from Morana. Going to fall 20-10 here at the 35-minute mark. It looks like Virtus Pro in big trouble. They know Roshan is underway. It looks like they may try to contest. Virtus Pro going to, or pardon me, ars-art going to disconnect. And we're going to move into a pause. Wow. That team fight.
They had a very nice Freezing Field and Requiem combo there. Well, it was Shadow Fiend dying, but a Requiem nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly right. It's the problem with Shadow Fiend. Even when he's not hitting you with the ult, it still goes off. Hurts. They have been doing a good job using the Doom, though. That was the second time we've seen him doomed while he's like channeling the Requiem. So you got to give a little bit of credit over there to Illidan for using his Doom, or pardon me, Light of Heaven for using his Doom well, but unfortunately, just not enough. I mean, at this point, Shadow Fiend is so far ahead that even when he's doomed, he's still tanky. He still hits hard. He still doesn't totally shut him down. Again, I think that Butterfly was just such a great pickup here and helping to give him the edge that he needed in that fight, not to just get blown up right away after the Doom came out.
Well, yeah, OSG can close this game out relatively easily. Anti-Mage just bought back, so did G, I believe. So their main heroes don't have buybacks, just focus them down. Just brute force it with their mass items right now and with the Aegis. And yeah, VP, they really messed this game up, though. They had the early first blood. They had an early kill on Shadow Fiend. That's pretty much the best early game you're going to get. And then after that, the passive play from Light of Heaven, the poor rotation from their supports too. They weren't really helping G out in any of the kills. And they also didn't defend that tower on bottom. So those things combined, and Shadow Fiend, just letting Shadow Fiend stack up like 5 or 6 camps and get an early BKB and then that Aegis. The Aegis was really the big mistake that VP made. But they just had a lot of like poor engagements, like 2-3 heroes getting caught out up here, dying to the Priestess of the Moon, and not even getting a clockwork kill in the process because he denied. So VP, they looked much better in the Alliance game. This game, their draft was a little bit lackluster, I'd say. They could have gotten a Potom instead of a Doom. This Doom pick, they just need to just totally ditch that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that front, my friend. We are going to resume here. ars-art will reconnect, and now Roshan going to be under heavy fire. Virtus Pro, I'm sure they'd like to contest, but don't know that they can here. It's going to be a free Roshan. Chomi going to be the one to grab the Aegis of the Immortal, as we would expect, and Illidan actually farming the Radiant jungle, almost getting caught out. He's going to be able to blink away, but still kind of in the danger zone here. We see Tron kind of trying to sandwich him in, but Illidan going to have some crafty blinks, and it won't be an issue. Marana leading the way on the KD8 shard, 10, 2, and 6, and now starting to, well, hit even harder. Does have Drums, Manta, Lincolns, as well as that dreaded Hand of Midas. I don't know. Can Virtus Pro do anything here? Is this one of these games where it's just a matter of time? Is it done?
It's a matter of time. They don't have buybacks for 4 minutes. That is more than enough time to push with the Aegis. This next push is just going to be over for them. They don't have the items to deal with it. They need a BKB on Anti-Mage. They need an MKB or Abyssal to deal with a Shadow Fiend. Puck has Sheep, but he is pretty much the only one who has been playing decently well this game. Venomancer 0-4, no Force Staff, no anything on him. No Ghost Scepter, Visage, no Scepter on him either. 35 minutes in. Doombringer, he has BKB, but he doesn't really do that much. He just dooms someone and then dies.
Long range hookshot going to come in. Will connect with ars-art. Power shot going to be off the mark, but the battery assault will be enough to finish him off. The bottom tier 3 tower falls. There's no glyph available, and this bottom lane of Rax will fall pretty quickly here. The only Rax remaining is that one in the mid lane. Doom going to come out on the Marana. That means Shadow Fiend going to be free to blow everyone up. Going to throw Requiem of Souls. Won't connect with much, but they still finish off the puck. Light of Heaven taking a lot of damage here. BKB will keep him alive, but not going to allow him to turn it around. Illidan going to come in. Will use the ultimate on the Crystal Maiden, but doesn't matter. It is going to be mega creeps at this point. All the barracks have gone down, and it literally is just a matter of time at this point. Oh, the hook shot going to be off the mark, but he does have an Ag's Scepter. It's an Agnim Scepter. Ag Scepter, 12-second hook shot. Doesn't matter too much, but there it is. GG, well played, Merlini. 36 minutes, 22-11. OSG going to take out Virtus Pro. OSG, a team we don't know too much about, but boy, they're looking pretty good. Pretty straightforward draft, well played. Pretty solid.
I think it was more VP just playing really badly. OSG still had a fair amount of mistakes, like the haste rune in plain sight by Shadow Fiend still dying there. Yeah. And a couple other ones. They really had the better late game lineup too, with the Shadow Fiend that was able to stack up a lot, and the Potom who went a really greedy build too, and VP did not punish them at all. And they also weren't able to get farm on their own. Anti-Mage dying on that engagement in top and also blinking in. Those two deaths really cost them. So they were doing okay, but VP just really didn't make anything happen on the map. OSG, I mean, they were better in VP in this engagement, but still, it was mostly VP's really, really shoddy play.
All right. Well, that's game 3 of 4 today here for Starladder Season 8 on the 4th of December. We got one more match coming up for you guys. The Retry going to be facing off against OSG, so we'll see how OSG fare against another team, and, well, maybe they'll have the same luck. I'm Sayori, with me is Merlini. Thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Summit. Plenty more Dota coming your way.